What is up? Welcome back to the channel. I seriously appreciate you tuning in today. We're back here in my 2006 Nissan 350Z Rev Up, and we're actually headed over to this road. I've never driven it before. It's called Lost Road, and I'm kind of curious. I saw it on the map earlier today, so let's navigate to it really quick. Let's see what we got. Does it want us to just go straight? It just wants us to go straight, so. All right. Now it says it's 18 minutes out, so that's like the perfect amount of time for what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. It's a little rainy out in Southern California today, and driving a rear-wheel drive sports car in the rain can be a little daunting at times. I'm not gonna lie, especially if you don't have much experience doing it. Freeway doesn't look too packed. You guys stay tuned. I'm doing a freeway on-ramp and off-ramp test coming up next week. So we're gonna be testing the Z. So hit subscribe, do not miss out on that video. But today, like I said, we're gonna be talking about some driving tips for when it is raining outside in your Nissan 350Z. Now, driving in general in the rain can definitely be more scary than normal. Personally, I feel like it's because no one around you knows how to drive in the rain, but you have to make sure you're watching out for the people that are driving like 20 under the speed limit, which is way too common when it's raining. I know people are trying to be safe, but sometimes it can even be an issue to go too slow. But aside from that, there are 3 things that I thought of that I feel like as long as you can maintain this while you're driving, you're gonna be okay. All right, so we got 14 minutes left on the nav, but let's start with number 1. It's gonna be moderate your speed and acceleration. It might seem like a no-brainer, but when it is raining, you really do wanna be gentle on the accelerator. Like sitting in third right now, there's almost enough power to spin the wheels when it's raining. I would say third, you're probably okay, but second gear for sure. You really don't wanna just jab the throttle down. Like it takes seriously no throttle whatsoever, especially in the lower gears, to start spinning the rear tires, and then you're sliding everywhere, and it can cause so many issues. And then also, you don't want to be going too fast. You want to moderate your speed because as I accelerate, you want to be able to slow down in time in case other people on the road are having an issue. Like if someone else is sliding out because they hit the accelerator too hard, you want to be going at a speed that's reasonable. So I kind of understand why people go slower than the posted speed limit when it's raining. Oh man, the turbo on this thing sounds really good. The Elantra N, I almost thought it was an Nismo for a second with that red line that goes all the way around the base. I like to stay in the lower gears, which can also be an issue because, you know, you have more torque there, so it's easier to spin the wheels basically. But I do like to be able to engine brake, so when you let off the gas, the engine slows you down instead of having to brake. I feel like it just gives you that little bit of extra control when you're like passing people that might be stopped in traffic or whatever. If you do need to accelerate, you have the power there. Just be gentle with it. And then if you do need to slow down, the engine is already slowing you down, which is nice. If I stay in second, the engine is holding me back anyways. So this one thing I like to do. I will say that brand new brakes are way cheaper than a brand new transmission. So kind of switch back and forth between the two. All right, we got 9 minutes out from Lost Road. So excited, honestly. I mean, it's the Lost Road. Okay, so the second point I wanted to talk about when you're driving a sports car in the rain is braking. So driving in the rain, not only does it mean monitoring your speed and your acceleration, but you also want to make sure you're not braking too late and braking too hard. When the roads are wet and you brake too hard, it can be easier for your wheels to lock up on you. So to avoid skidding or having your wheels lock up on you and start bouncing, I like to use engine braking, but also braking early will save you, as well as leaving yourself quite a bit of space, just because, you know, with wet roads means longer stopping distances. So if your wheels do lock up, then you have at least some space to slide forward. You do not want that to happen, but just in case, I mean, you want to at least leave yourself some space. So as long as you just stay back and you don't just slam the brakes, you know, use common sense, just drive gently. There are plenty of times to drive hard and fast, and in the rain is probably just not one of those times. But there's definitely some times and places where you can have a little bit of fun in the rain, that's for sure. All right, I think it's this. Yep, we're gonna turn right here. We're gonna see where we go from here. I've never been over here, you guys, ever. Got my Starbucks this morning. It's a good day. I mean, I'd say the best thing about the 350Z is just the fact that it has no traction control whatsoever. So one flick of the wrist and the thing slides sideways, which is really cool. Can also be dangerous. I mean, in the rain, you know, you really gotta watch out because these 350Zs, although they handle well, they do like to get a little squirrely sometimes. Looks like we're gonna turn right up here. So I'm gonna get over. Damn, jeez, it sounds so good. See, watch, ready? I mean, you just barely tap the gas and the wheels just start spinning, so dangerous. In the rain especially. There's just enough torque to do that when it's dry out, but in the rain, Too easy. All right, we're going up the hill. That's kind of what I was hoping. There's a school right here, so gotta be on our best behavior. Gotta set a good example for these kids, you know what I mean? It looks like it's about to turn to a dead end. I think that sign says pavement ends over there. See, that's what I was worried about. That's what I was worried about. I could not tell if this... Yep, that's it for sure. Is that paved? It doesn't look paved. That's gravel for sure. That's gravel for sure. All right, let's do a walk around real quick since we came all this way. All right. This thing is sweet, you guys. I forget what it looks like when we're driving it. And I come outside and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Oh man. We really do need to get these emblems and stuff on the blue car. Like, it's just sad that we haven't yet, but it's $200 for all of them. So if anyone wants to send me those, I'm just kidding, I'll buy them. But geez, $200. I feel like it should be like $60, $70 max. But I love these wheels, but what should we do, you guys? I feel like it's been too many years now with the same car. I feel like I'm not gonna sell it, but I feel like we should change it up a little bit. There's this Nismo I'm looking at, I'm not gonna lie, but I think I'd have to sell either the red car or the blue car. Like, what do you guys think? My first thought comes, I'll sell the blue car. I'm selling the HR and keeping the rev up, which most people would be like, what are you doing there? But I love this rev up, you know? Like, I wish I had enough money to buy the Nismo, swap an HR into this thing, because then it would just be, it'd be chilling. I wouldn't really need the other HR. Jeez, man, jeez. All right, let's go. Get back in here. Go cruise around a little bit more. Okay, let's get out of here. Ground is still wet out here, you guys. Ground is still wet. We'll cancel this navigation. Well, too much fun. Too much fun. Well, I thought that road was gonna be windy and paved, but it's the opposite. So let's talk about one more point. Let's go right here. I've never been this way. Let's talk about one more point. There we go. All right. Never been right. Oh, I cannot get the wheels to not spin. It's amazing. One more point that's gonna help you and keep you on the road while it's raining in your Nissan 350Z or any rear-wheel drive sports car for that matter. And it's gonna be steering smoothly. I know that these things are pretty common sense. Smooth, deliberate steering inputs are what we need when it's raining outside. Anything other than that, we'll start to have a little issue on our hands. I mean, sports cars, especially 350Zs, you know, kind of on the lighter side. They're not the lightest, but cars like this slide really easily. And if you turn the steering wheel too sharp, I mean, like we were saying earlier, just a flick of the wrist and this thing will start sliding. So definitely got to be careful. Definitely got to be careful. Oh yeah, so that was second gear and it's sliding. Smooth on the accelerator, deliberate inputs on the steering wheel. This road through here is so nice. Just the flick of the wrist. All right, probably shouldn't do that very often. One more time. Oh man. Oh man. So much fun. Too easy. I could do that with my Starbucks in my hand, actually. Well, I thought it was gonna rain more than this, so. But don't be deceived, because the only time I ever crashed in this thing was actually the day after it rained. The roads were not wet whatsoever, but the water brings all the oil to the surface, you guys. And then for the next few days, like, the roads are just oily. I mean, and we might have been going a little too fast, but even if it doesn't look completely wet out, you do wanna be safe out there. These 350Zs, you know, every single day on Reddit, I see people are crashing them, and it makes me really sad. 80% of the comments on Reddit are like, oh yay, the value of mine has gone up. Which, although is true, is really sad because we don't want these cars going away, you guys. We want as many of these things on the road as possible. Do whatever you can to be safe out there in your Z. If you don't have one yet and you're saving to get one and you live in a really rainy area, please be safe out there. My dad always told me when I was younger that if you're gonna do anything, just make sure the car is straight first and the steering wheel is straight. So many things can go wrong if the steering wheel and the car are not straight. So, I mean, things can go wrong when it is straight too, but it's safer than the alternative. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed today's little drive. Like I said earlier, we have the video coming out with the on-ramp and off-ramp like review. I cannot wait for that one. And then also I have my thoughts on like the electrification of cars. I haven't really talked about it yet, so if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button, drop a like if you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Can't leave without an acceleration. Donuts. Okay, let's go. Just one.